So 1 in every 10 residents that live in LA are illegal immigrants. That's 1 million illegal immigrants in LA. In my opinion, if you allow that many illegals into one city, it's domestic terrorism. And of course they're going to mobilize. This is evidence of what we're seeing right now. And then you compound that issue with soft on crime policies and soft on crime legislators, mayors, governors. This is what you get. And this is exactly why we need law and order and we need closed borders. And do not be ashamed to say that you believe that we need to have legal immigration.
Not ashamed at all. Deport all the illegals. Every single one of them. I don't care how long they've been here. I don't give a crap if they've been here for 40 years. If you're here illegally, you're getting deported. And the fact that you've been here for 40 years makes it even worse for multiple reasons. The one being, you've had plenty of time and opportunity to become a legal citizen. So I really don't feel bad for you if you've been here that long. I don't feel bad for any of them in general, but I really don't feel bad for people who've been here for 40 years and are still illegals. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. But I want to show y'all this clip that I came across of this guy just admitting that he's an illegal. And there's some interesting news that I came across. I've been coming across different clips of it, but then I came across a news clip of mainstream media actually admitting it live on air. But we'll get to that. First, let's get to this clip. Let's dive in.
We don't agree with the term illegal. We're undocumented. We've been here for thousands of years before you guys showed up, screw up everything. We think we should organize together with the U.S. working class and fight together and create a better system. We're anti-capitalist. We think socialism does work, real socialism, not Venezuela, not Cuba, not any of that crap that they try to sell us as socialism. And we believe it would be a more humane system that will take care of most of all people's necessities.
Is there a country we can look to kind of model the socialism idea?
The only model would be Soviet Union the first 4 years. After that, it became a mess. Sadly, there was a bureaucrat leadership that grew out of that, but it has to do mainly with the attacks of the U.S. and all big powers against that system that was working. In the few years that it lasted, it showed the world that it could do much better than capitalism. We don't.
In the few years it lasted, it showed the world that it's much better than capitalism. But it was down the tubes pretty quickly. So how does that even make sense? But, oh, man, I don't agree with illegal. We're undocumented. You're illegal. You're here illegally. We've been here for a long time until you came and messed it up. Okay. Okay. All right. Go on back to Mexico or wherever you're from. Go protest there. See ya. See ya. Now, I've been coming across clips of what you guys saw at the very beginning of this video, and that is as much as 10%, and I believe it's higher than that. If mainstream media is admitting it, then it's probably higher. But as much as 10% of LA County is illegal immigrants. Illegal. 10%. Probably over 1 million people in LA County are illegal. And mainstream media admitted it. Said it live on air. Check it out.
How unusual and how unprecedented the size and the scale and the scope of the immigration enforcement operations that took place in Los Angeles, starting with right here at this Home Depot in Cypress Park at 7 o'clock, 7:15, 7:30 on Friday morning, were and why they led to those protests. The big picture is Los Angeles is a so-called majority minority city and a majority minority state. There are more people of color that live in Los Angeles than white people at this point. And many of those people are undocumented. By some counts, 10% of the population of LA County, one of the largest counties, the largest county by population in the United States, is undocumented, maybe as many as 1 million people. Those people are our neighbors, our coworkers, our classmates, our friends, our parishioners, fellow parishioners in churches. They are part of the fabric of the city of Los Angeles. And not in the last many decades under Democratic nor Republican presidents, despite the fact that you had presidents with big deportation programs, Democratic and Republican, as you have so often reported, have we seen the type of immigration enforcement we saw play out on the streets of Los Angeles on Friday. And that struck fear into the heart of not just the undocumented community here, but of many U.S. citizen family members of undocumented people and many U.S. citizens who know those people, because that is removing people from this community who have been here, if not their entire life, virtually their entire lives. There are so many mixed status families that live in Los Angeles that might have an undocumented parent or relative and U.S. citizen child or cousin who, we've talked about this before. The family separation policy of the first Trump administration in 2018 was a deliberate ripping apart of parents and children at the border to separate those families and inflict pain on those families. But when I say mass deportation is family separation, when I say those signs that were held up on the floor of the Republican convention, as I talked to you from the floor of that convention, was a sign of what was to come and why that is also a form of family separation. It is family separation in the interior. It's taking parents away from their children, not at the border and not in detention centers, but at a Home Depot on the street corner, or outside of a school, or at a workplace in the fashion district where they might be working in a factory. It's a different form of family separation, and it's exactly the intent of this administration, modeled after, Nicole, Dwight D. Eisenhower's 1954 operation with a name so racist, I'm not going to say it here to you right now, but there resulted in 1 million Mexicans and some Mexican Americans being sent to Mexico in the wake of the Bracero program, coming here legally in the 1950s. That's what the Trump administration is modeling this program after. That's their stated goal. They've talked about it. And so now we're seeing it effectuated on the streets of the largest county in America, second largest city in America, with the largest undocumented population in America, where those people interact. I say those people, we all interact on a daily basis here. And it has terrified so many people, which is why you saw people before the protests turned violent, and there was certainly violence associated with those protests before the protests turned violent, a largely peaceful protest, too, actually, that converged in front of the Metropolitan Detention Center, where so many of those people were picked up by ICE at locations like this, in order to say this is not acceptable to the people of Los Angeles. The undocumented people, the documented people, everyone who knows how important that community is to the fabric of this one.
Okay, that's enough. Anyway, I love how they keep trying to say undocumented. Undocumented. They're undocumented. These undocumented folks, they're illegals. They're here illegally. They broke the law. And as far as family separation goes, when you break the law here in America, the judicial system doesn't care if you have a family. If you break the law, you go to jail. You get arrested. You get punished for your crimes. Doesn't matter if you have a family. If you did something bad enough, you go into prison. Well, what is so hard to understand about that? I don't get it. There's family separation there, so you don't care about those folks? Goodness gracious, stuff is crazy to me, man. We don't want to separate the families. We don't want to separate the families. Well, you shouldn't have broke the law. Shouldn't have broke the law. And honestly, I think we should get rid of birthright citizenship. Just because you're born in America doesn't mean you can be an American. I feel like that creates a terrible incentive for illegals to just cross the border, have kids, and now their kids are legal citizens now simply because they were born on American soil. That's crazy to me. Call me mean, call me rude, call me cruel, but that's crazy to me. You could just cross the border illegally, have your kids, and now your kids are legal citizens. How does that even make sense? Doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense to me. Am I the only one? Y'all let me know in the comments, please. Y'all let me know. But I love how he admitted that LA County is the biggest county with the most illegals. Over 1 million illegals in just one county alone. One county alone. 1 million people here illegally. And if they admitted that there's 1 million, it's probably higher than that. Just saying, just based off of everything that we've seen thus far from these lying mainstream media folks. Just saying, crazy. But it also has implications on, obviously, California's electoral college votes. You deport 1 million people. While people are also leaving your state to go to red states, those numbers start to drop drastically. So, I think that's also one of the reasons why you see Democrat politicians trying to fight against this so hard, because they know that it has the potential in the 2030 census to really lower their numbers, thus affecting the Electoral College, making red states bigger while blue states lose numbers. But also, I want to show you guys this poll from CNN. I know, it's CNN. But even amongst immigrants, legal immigrants, Trump is in the positive.
Start off on the fact that immigrant citizens, immigrant voters, foreign-born voters have gone tremendously to the right on this issue in 2024 and 2025 versus where they were in 2020. Closest to or trust more in immigration. You go back to 2020. Democrats, get this, held a 32-point lead on this issue. Immigrant voters were in the Democratic camp. Jump forward to 2024, 2025. Look at that shift, a 40-point shift to the right among immigrant voters. Republicans now lead on this issue by 8 points over Democrats, more so than any other group that I could find. The group of voters who became more hawkish on immigration were in fact immigrants themselves, immigrants who are registered to vote in this country.
So that's on that issue. How about how they feel about kind of traditionally his...
So yeah, and I think they feel that way because they've actually gone through the process. They've paid the money. They've gone through the long process of actually becoming a legal citizen, and they're watching people just waltz right on in, and they're like, hold on, why did I have to go through this long process? And they just get to waltz right on in. It's crazy. And I agree. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy, man. But yeah, y'all let me know your thoughts and your opinions on this. I am happy they are in LA County right now deporting folks. When you have over 1 million illegals in your county, I should be there in force, in mass, okay? In mass deporting folks. Deporting anybody and everybody they see that's there illegally. 1 million people, bro. That's crazy. Crazy. And I can't wait until they're all deported. And then the 2030 census rolls around. Gonna be some interesting times, to say the least. But what do y'all think? Let me know. Y'all stay safe out there. Peace and love. I'm out.